guys, today we're going to learn how to solve two-step mathematical equations. We've talked before about how a letter, like x, can represent a number in an equation. It's kind of like x has a secret number identity we need to uncover, kind of like a superhero. In two-step equations, the goal of you mathematicians is to find out what number the x represents by performing two steps. I'm going to demonstrate the first problem. So the most important thing to know about these problems is that the hero of the equation, the x, is a loner. Like any great hero, Harry Potter, Katniss, Batman, by the end, the hero needs to stand alone. So our goal is to separate the x from the numbers in the problem so that we end up with x on one side of this equal sign and the numbers on the other side. In this equation, the 3 will be the first thing we cancel out because it is separated from the x by a plus sign. To get rid of the 3, we have to subtract 3 because that is the opposite operation from adding 3. 3 minus 3 equals 0 and leaves us with 4x on this side of the equation. Now we've talked before about equations with equal signs and how both sides of the equation are kind of like sides of a scale that we need to keep balanced. If I just subtracted 3 from the left side of the equation, it is now 3 lighter than the right side of the equation. So how could we rebalance our scale? Jason?
Would you subtract 3 from 35?
Yup, exactly right. We have to subtract 3 from the other side as well, not just the left side. What does that give us, Jason?
32.
32. 4x equals 32. All right, so we got rid of the 3, but now we have to get rid of this 4, which is closer to the x. We can think of 4x as 4 multiplied by x. And to get rid of the 4, we have to perform the opposite operation, just like we did to get rid of the 3 earlier. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Maddie?
Division?
Division, right. So if we divide 4x by 4, that would leave us with 1x on the left side of the equation. Does anyone remember what we have to do next?
Divide 32 by 4.
Right.
Also.
How come?
Because you have to do the same thing to both sides.
Right, to balance that scale. So what's 32 divided by 4, Isabel?
8.
8. Great job. All right, there's our solution. X's secret identity is 8. So we have x standing alone, and that's how we know we solved the problem. So to give you guys a way to remember all these different steps, I've created a little cheer for us to do. I'm going to do it first, and then we're going to do it together. When you solve for x, x needs to stand alone, so you move the numbers to the other zone. First add or subtract, and then divide, and the answer will appear in the blink of an eye. All right, so the lyrics are up here. Let's do it all together. I'm going to go up here and point to the different steps as we get to them. Ready?
When you solve for x, x needs to stand alone, so you move the numbers to the other zone. First add or subtract, and then divide, and the answer will appear in the blink of an eye.
Great job, guys. All right, guys, now that you have the basics down, we're going to do one together. But think back to our cheer. What's the first step we have to take to solve this problem?
Add or subtract.
Good job, Isabel. Add or subtract. Do you see a plus sign or a minus sign in this problem? Jason?
You see a minus sign with the 24.
Right, a minus 24. So how could we cancel out that 24? Maddie?
You could do the opposite operation.
What's that?
Adding 24.
Great, perfect. Gotta do the opposite operation to cancel out the 24.
And make sure to do it to the other side too.
Great job, Isabel. You remember to balance the equation. What does this leave us with, guys? 5x on this side, because this equals 0. What about this side? Jason?
35.
35. Good job. Okay, now does anyone remember how to get rid of that clingy 5? Jason?
Divide by 5 for both sides.
For both sides. Good work. 35 divided by 5 and 5x divided by 5. That leaves us with x equals
7.
7. Great job, guys. All right, mathematicians, for the final part of the lesson, I'm going to give you guys a problem, and you're going to have to tell me what to do to solve it on the board using what we worked on today. So just to remind you guys, let's do our cheer one more time so we remember the steps we need to take to solve this problem. Ready?
When you solve for x, x needs to stand alone, so you move the numbers to the other zone. First add or subtract, and then divide, and the answer will appear in the blink of an eye.
All right, guys, this one's a little bit tougher, so good luck.
Yeah.
So we're in agreement.
2.
X equals 2. Great job, guys. You worked really hard today. It was a great lesson. You guys are going to be ready for more complicated equations next class.